What's going on, everybody? This is Over the Ropes. I'm Tyler.
I'm Cortland. Let's get this show started.
What
We're
is
on the road to WrestleMania, brother.
officially on the road to WrestleMania? Royal
Countdown's
Rumble
on.
is over and done with. We have our Royal Rumble winners, and now we are on the road to
Yeet.
elimination. Yay! Now we're on the road to Elimination Chamber and then Mania. And I will say, for a Raw after Royal Rumble, pretty damn good Raw.
Yep.
I had some internet issues. I don't have regular cable, so I'm gonna be a little wonky on it this week because my viewing experience wasn't great. Never mind the Netflix viewing
Oh,
experience.
yeah,
Whew,
you got the double doozy on that one, brother.
whew. You know what though? If I have an internet the week that issues the week Netflix does, cool. Hopefully everything
Yep.
goes back to normal next week because
It's-
they have been doing a good job. So
yeah, I was a little worried after what was it that made everyone nervous? The Jake
the
Paul
Jake
Mike
Paul
Tyson
Mike
fight?
Tyson fight, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Things had been ironed out until this week, so we'll see.
Yeah. All right. So we're just gonna jump straight into it. This is February 3rd, Cleveland, Ohio. Have you ever been to Cleveland?
I have I have not, no, but my sister, she's a traveling surgeon tech, and her last gig
Mm-hmm.
she was in Akron, and she
Oh.
visited Cleveland a few times. This is the first time I haven't gone to see her. It's on the bucket list because I want to go to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
So hopefully we don't have a lot of people from Cleveland watching right now because my cousin and I went to the Brown Stadium for the Patriots Brown game, the first game Tom Brady came back from his suspension,
Yep.
and what a shithole!
Yeah,
Oh, dude,
I've heard mixed
it
reviews.
was not a great experience. We went
Well,
to the
their football jerseys are brown because that city stinks.
yeah, we did go to
Which,
the Football Hall of Fame though, and that was cool.
yep.
So,
Yep.
but all right, we're gonna jump straight into it.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the beginning of the show.
Yeah, so Raw starts off with the typical, superstars making their way in, which I love this change that they've done under the Triple H regime.
Oh yeah,
I think that always looks really cool. We get a great recap package of the Royal Rumble. And then we jump to Jey Uso making his way in from the concourse, which is always awesome.
that's
And
such
the
a great entrance,
crowd, it's awesome. And the crowd is absolutely bananas.
right?
And his entrance went on. I think I looked and it was at the 12 or 13 minute mark. He was still doing his entrance. And then when the music stopped and he went to talk, the crowd asked him to do it again.
I know.
Like,
Yeah,
they erupted. McAfee drops a great one liner. I don't know why Miles Garrett would ever want to leave this town because he had requested a trade a couple hours before this show, which I
yep.
thought was awesome.
Love.
And Jay, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I love McAfee always throwing in uh, football references, baseball
Yes,
references, basketball. Yeah,
he ties things together very well.
yeah.
So right away, I noticed Jay is overwhelmed with emotion and he's blown up, and I can't blame him. That crowd goes insane for him.
Mm-hmm.
So he finally gets into it, probably 15 minutes into the show before he says anything, and he talks about his journey,
Right.
through WWE. So he's a tag guy, and then COVID happens, and it's kind of him and his cousins. And back then, there's still in that shade of gray where some people don't even know which Uso is which 10 years in is crazy to say, but that was the fact for a lot of people. And I hate to say it, me too,
Yeah.
man. Until
Yeah.
we really got into the bloodline,
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you.
No.
Um, and then he talks about how he's with the bloodline, and that was fire. It was a cool chapter. And he talks about being scared, and he wasn't confident about being a singles competitor. And he didn't think he had it in him, but he had to because Jay got hurt. Or excuse me, Jimmy got hurt.
Damn, still
Um,
can't tell them apart.
And coming out tonight, though, he talks about how he's got it now, Oos,
Mhm.
and he worked hard to get into this position, and he thanks everyone in the crowd for supporting with him and eating with him, and he gets super emotional, which I love. Like, that's the type of shit that's going to make people love him and push him to the win at Mania. That's going to be awesome.
Yep.
Any reaction to that? You want me to move on?
No, just keep going.
Good with it?
Yep.
So, as expected, Gunther's music hits. He says he'd offer congratulations, but, why would he? He says he's disappointed, and quite honestly, the matchup doesn't appeal to him. And he says Jey can't even lace his boots. He says he's box office. He's learned how to make the fans believe he's barely holding on to the title. But in reality, he's always holding on to it. He's always in control, and he refuses to lose the belt to Jey. And he says beating Jey adds nothing to his legacy. Whereas if he faced Cena or CM Punk, that would add a lot to his legacy. And that Jey has everything to gain and Gunther has everything to lose. So he's got no reason to take this match. So if Jey picks him, Gunther says he needs something to gain. So he's going to make... he said this is going to be the most horrible display of violence this business has ever seen every week until WrestleMania. He says they're going to put Jey down like a diseased dog. And the good news is Jey has options. So Gunther goes to leave the ring, and Jey says, "Hold up, you tired yet? 'Cause I'm tired. I'm tired of everyone telling me what I can be and what I can't be, that I'm a tag guy, and that he's not supposed to be main event and not supposed to win the Royal Rumble." And he says he's going to go to SmackDown, he's going to holler at Cody, but whoever he chooses, he walked out of the Royal Rumble the winner, and he guarantees he's going to walk out of the main event as main event Jey Uso, a champion. Yeet. And that is how we open the show. And then we get a little presser, a John Cena recap presser. But let's start with the Jey Gunther promo.
Yeah, I got a question for you. How did you feel about Gunther's promo?
I think he's had better ones.
Okay. So, go ahead.
I think he seems maybe a little threatened because he was trying to talk Jey out of it. But he made a good point. He's got everything to lose and nothing to gain. But
right.
I don't know. I feel like I expect Gunther to be a little more rigid and be like, "What? I've already beat you once. Like, do it again." So
yeah. So I feel like there's two. How do I word this? Parts to this promo that I have an opinion about. Right. So I think this is the perfect promo to gauge somebody as a wrestling fan, because there's going to be that select group of fans that is like, oh, they're burying Jey, blah, blah, blah. Like, why would you do this to somebody after they just won the Rumble? And, like, just being, can't understand, right? And those are not the kind of wrestling fan I am. I love this promo because you're right. Gunther's definitely have better promos, but the thing is if we're taking our disbelief that these are what's really happening, this is real life, what else would Gunther say? He's already beaten Jey twice. He's beaten him for the world title. He's beaten him for the Intercontinental title. So if this was a real competition that wasn't predetermined, like wrestling is, Gunther would come out there and be like, why would I wrestle you? I've already beaten you twice. That does nothing for my legacy. I've already kicked your ass twice. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I liked it because it felt real. It felt like, dude, okay, you won the Rumble. So what? I've had this belt for how long now? And I've already beaten you twice, including like 8 days ago, dude. What, 9 or whatever it's been. Like, no. Kiss my ass. Like, I don't want to face you again. Because, like he said, Jey has everything to gain and Gunther has everything to lose. And he learned last year at WrestleMania when he went in there with all that hubris against Sami, that guess what? Shit can happen.
That's a big word for you.
Hey.
Wow.
Hey. He went in there last year and learned from Sami that anything can happen. So why would I put myself in that situation again,
That's a great point.
Yeah, so that's why I like this promo, because it felt real. It felt like something a real human being would say. And be like, no, I've already beaten you twice, dude. Like, go to
It also makes him hateable.
Right.
It makes the people like Jey more, and it makes them want him to win more. And I hope he's right. I hope that this is the most horrible display of violence for the next 10 weeks.
Hell yeah.
Because that is going to make Jey so fucking sympathetic. And I don't remember the feud right off the top of my head, but when he said that, I transformed into like mid to late 2000s Raw,
Mm-hmm.
and I can't even remember who it was, but I feel like I just remember whoever the champ was, just like it was a doom and gloom situation on whoever had won the Rumble. But when they got to Mania, the babyface finally overcame. I wish I could remember who it was. I feel like it was someone over Triple H, maybe.
Was it Ray and
But I
Kurt?
was just like, oh, maybe,
Because you remember
maybe,
they were added Randy in there too, made it a triple
yeah,
threat.
yep.
So, but yeah, so I thought it was good because it was real. It felt real, you know. It felt like something a real human being would say in that situation.
Yeah.
So yeah, I thought it was good. And you know, I feel like this segment showed the difference between the loud internet fans and then the fans who actually the majority fans, because everybody on the internet was boo-hooing about Jey winning, and yet
Yep.
that crowd was going nuts.
Absolutely insane.
Nuts. And I loved the emotion. I loved him just being real, going out there, crying, just letting it out. I thought the whole thing was good. And like I said, I agree Gunther's definitely have better promos, but overall I thought it was really good.
It did what it needed to, and it set. We love you. We want you to win. We
Right.
hate you. We can't wait to watch you lose.
Exactly. Yep.
So after this, we get the John Cena recap from his press conference, which we hit on a little bit, but basically he didn't take questions. He told us what we were going to get.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think the important thing that they announced here was the winner of the Elimination Chamber faces whatever champ Jay doesn't choose.
Right. Yep.
So we go into our first commercial break. We come back. Ludwig Kaiser's in the ring. They show a clip of his short stint in the Rumble before Penta eliminated him.
Mm-hmm.
And then Penta makes his way to the ring. We got our first match of the night.
Yes, sir.
Oh, man, that corner headstand into the drop kick. I feel like we talk about this every week.
Yeah.
So cool.
What a move. It's such a
Yep.
good move. You know, they showed on before Penta's entrance, they showed him eliminating Kaiser and how, you know, they literally had it on the screen that Penta was the Iron Man and Kaiser was eliminated in like 6 seconds and stuff like that. And the you know, I'm not a super big fan of Kaiser getting eliminated in 6 seconds. But it's such a stark difference between Triple H and Vince, because if Vince was running this, you'd be like, oh, what did he do? He sneezed in front of him or something. Right, like what stupid thing did he do? Where now it's like, oh, what story are they telling with this? You know?
Yep.
And again, you could be wrong because they're clearly not telling a story with Vinci. I thought there was a story there, but apparently not. But
I was hoping for a story with Kaiser. I talked to you about this off show, but I was actually hoping for like a really good, like solid, at least 20 or 30 minute performance by Kaiser, just to kind of plant that seed. Like, oh, Gunther, I'm coming for that title. Like, if he could have made it to like the final 8, that would have been awesome. Because I feel like they had that little bit of a teaser of shit going down between them, and we get another teaser after this, which we'll get into. So I think Kaiser having a longer run in the Rumble actually would have made, I don't want to say a ton of sense, but there's a story there.
Right.
So I was kind of surprised that they completely scrapped it.
Right.
But back into the match, you know, just some of the classic stuff. Let's see. Penta had this springboard move, and Kaiser just slapped him out of the air like a mosquito. That was crazy. And Kaiser hits that rolling Death Valley driver on the apron. That was absolutely insane.
Yeah.
I could not imagine taking a DVD to the apron. They come back from break, and Kaiser has these soccer kicks, man. Oh, my Lord.
Yep.
And Penta's just begging for more. He's eating them. And then he gets back up and chops Kaiser down. Penta hit a springboard backstabber at one point. I mean, every week he's just pulling out these moves, man. We haven't seen.
He's so
good. Penta backdrops Kaiser out to the floor and then hits this tope con hilo. Kaiser finally gets some offense back. He catches Penta out of midair, hits a rolling senton. Man, that spot was brutal. It looked like Kaiser could have jammed up his neck, but he got right up. It's
Yeah.
totally fine.
Yep.
Man, Penta hits that sacrifice arm breaker. And the Penta driver, and he gets the win, and he remains undefeated on Raw.
Yep. So they have Jackie Redmond come out after the match and interview him again. Ask him, what can we expect from you? Pete Dunne comes out. Kaiser hits him from the back and stomps him out before he leaves. Hits him with the DDT finisher. And I like that they've now interviewed him twice after his matches because it feels like they're making him into a star. Like they think he's a star. You know what I'm saying? And boy, he is. So I'm glad they see it too. And then Pete Dunne coming out, man.
Do you think there's anything to this? I feel like a couple weeks ago, wasn't it you literally said, I feel like Pete Dunne could be a part of Imperium?
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. When they came up, Imperium, or in NXT especially, Imperium were monsters, And then Kaiser and Gunther came up without Vinci. Then Vinci came up with them. And, I think you can make Imperium into a thing again. And, hey, if you don't see anything in Vinci, which I feel like they don't, then put in Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate. And have that be Imperium.
I would love to see Pete Dunne in this group.
He'd fit perfectly. Because, I mean, especially Pete Dunne just has that attitude that Gunther and Kaiser have. So
exactly.
Yeah. I think that'd be incredible. So after that, we get replay JD's brutal spot. Oof. Boy, they talk about his injuries. Yeah. I mean, frankly, even the injuries he got is still, lucky, So then we get this backstage segment with Finn storms in, says, let me get straight. I've been gone for 2 weeks recovering from that brutal street fight, and then everything seems to fall apart. Not only did Dom steal my tag match and steal my tag team partner, but then
now he's hurt.
Then he gets hurt. What is going on here? And Dom gets pretty irritated because Finn says, what do you need? If you want to start calling shots, do you need a babysitter? Is that what it is? And Liv goes, hey, hold on. If Dom didn't take your place, another team would have gotten this match. And she said, and you know what? Dom got me into my Elimination Chamber qualifying match. Dom got you into your Elimination Chamber qualifying match. And Finn's like, oh, okay. Because he got all butthurt when Liv said she had one. So he's like, well, what are you going to do for me? What are you going to do for me? And I thought it was a great segment because, boy,
it's just going to implode.
It's going to implode and it's going to be great.
It's going to be awesome.
It's going to be so cool. And I love both Dom and Finn. So...
And that dagger at the end by Liv.
Oh, yeah.
And on top of that, we're going to listen to you from now on. Right. So just relax. I was like, ooh.
Yeah, but I got to get ready for my match. So, bye-bye. Yeah. No, I was like, wow. All right, cool. Yeah, I can't wait. Because, I know I've said this to you before, but hopefully whenever this implodes, it doesn't break up Judgment Day for good. Hopefully,
just a different iteration of it.
Right, and they just keep changing it like Bullet Club and New Japan. I think that'd be really cool. Because Triple H is really good with these groups. So, just keep them going,
After that, we go to the Women's Royal Rumble winner. We get Charlotte. She comes out, bit of a mixed reaction. Definitely some boos mixed in there, but also some people excited to see her.
Mixed as well for
it. It was pretty heavy on the booze, I would say.
Yeah.
And I mean, she addresses the elephant in the room. She says a year and a half ago the booing would have really bothered her, but to be honest, I think it still did.
The booing 100% bothered her.
Yeah. She tried to play it off tough and cool, but I think it was eating her alive.
She hated it.
But she says she missed the fans, that the last year sucked being on the shelf. she thought that she had always been unbreakable, and then this injury proved that she wasn't. She said she didn't know if her knee was ever going to recover well enough to make it back. She talked about like different parts of her timeline where am I going to make it back at Survivor Series? Am I going to make it back at the Rumble? Am I going to make it back for Mania?
Yep.
And I put in my notes the booing is definitely bothering her, and you could really tell she was rattled.
Yeah.
But she says they can keep booing. She still loves the fans, which was funny. And then she said she's the greatest WWE superstar in history, so boo her now. She talked about how she fought every single day to get back to where she is. This is her passion, and this is what she wants to be the best at. So when she walked down the aisle to punch her ticket at WrestleMania, she knew she was coming back for. And as soon as she says coming back for, they timed this perfect. Sometimes they get super irritated with the production and the timing of these things. They nailed this music cue, and we get Rhea Ripley's music.
Perfectly.
They crushed that timing.
Yeah. I will say...
And did you see Charlotte? Yeah, go ahead.
I will say, before we hit Rhea's part, this creative decision baffles me. Because fans love Tiffany right now. Fans don't love Charlotte. Fans aren't going to love Charlotte. So the idea that they're like, we're going to keep Tiffany bad guy, we're going to make Charlotte the good guy in this feud, you should have seen that was going to blow up in your face.
I think it'll flip.
You think what will flip?
I hope that they book accordingly, because there's no way Charlotte's going to get cheered in this ever.
No, that's why.
Do you think they're going to keep booking Tiffany heel?
I don't know, because we haven't seen them in this situation yet. You know.
Yeah. I think it's organically going to show its hand, and they'll book accordingly when they have a confrontation. I hope.
I wonder if one of the problems is with Tiffany's character. I think they're like, okay, how do we make that into like a good guy? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I mean,
it's kind of tough to make a Barbie face out of a rich Barbie snob.
But people are not gonna cheer Rhea
Charlotte
over her, or Charlotte over her. No shot.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yo.
So Charlotte says, "Hello, old friend." Well, Rhea comes on in, and she says, "Well, I was trying to have a moment with Cleveland, but hello, mommy." Hey. And Rhea just lays right into her. She's like, "Your moment. This is my show."
Yeah.
And now there's a possibility to go to war once again. And when you go to war, that's when you earn someone's respect.
Yeah.
And Rhea talks about how she respects Charlotte. And Rhea tells Charlotte, she's like, "Pick me." And Charlotte reminds Rhea that Charlotte won round one when Charlotte won the Rumble the first time, excuse me. And Rhea says, "Back then, I was just a kid." And Charlotte says she's going to go to NXT and she's going to go to SmackDown before she makes a decision. And Charlotte says that Rhea jumped the gun, showing she's still just a kid. And this just infuriates Rhea. As she's Charlotte was about to walk by, and Rhea kind of gets in her way and blocks her. And she says, "Well, obviously, you still don't respect me. You don't respect me the way I respect you."
Right. And
she begs Charlotte to beat her so she can beat the respect into her again at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
What do you make of a showdown if we get Charlotte Rhea Part 3?
I don't want it. I mean, here's the thing. Their last match was probably one of the best matches of that WrestleMania.
Stole the show.
Oh my god, what a match! But I don't need a third one, at least this soon. Frankly, the first one I thought was stupid. Charlotte winning the Rumble and then challenging the NXT World Champion. I hated that decision when they did it. So eventually we should get the third one at Mania, because they're 1-1 and there have been excellent matches. But I don't need it right now.
That's a great call. I think Tiffany's the match.
Yeah, Tiffany's definitely the match. And yeah, so eventually, absolutely. Right now, no thank you. So we go backstage and Jackie's interviewing Sami Zayn. She asks his mindset, going one-on-one against CM Punk. Sami talks
for the first time.
First time in WWE.
Yeah.
Let's say,
did they fight in Ring of Honor?
I'm sure they did. I wasn't an avid Ring of Honor watcher, but I'm sure El Generico wrestled CM Punk at some point.
Yep.
So Sammy says it's difficult losing the Rumble, but he still has a chance to punch his ticket to WrestleMania, and that's the only thing on his mind. She asked if he's had a chance to check on KO. He says he has to talk. He interrupts her. He says, "Hey, I'm sorry. I got to talk to somebody." So he walks over to Jay. Jay instantly was like, "Dude, I wasn't aiming for you. I'm so sorry. Like, that wasn't, my bad, dude." And Sammy's looking all grilling him for a minute, and then big hug. Sammy gives him a nice big hug.
It was weird. We saw like the devil on the shoulder,
Uh-huh.
but he chose the angel on the shoulder last minute.
Yeah. Gives him a hug, hypes him up. He's like, dude, you won the Rumble. I'm happy for you. You're my oos. You my boy. Like, it's good. So, Jay wishes Sammy good luck in his match against Punk, and Jay leaves. And of course, who comes over? Our boy Karrion Kross jumps in, and he says, "Man, that was very touching."
What an asshole!
He's so condescending. Oh my god. He says, "How's it feel watching all your friends live out your dreams?" And Sammy says, "Maybe I haven't been clear, but I'm sick of seeing you stick your nose in my business all the time. And if you don't stop, we're gonna have a problem, essentially." And Cross says he isn't the problem. He says, "But I could be."
Yep.
Could be. Now, this is interesting, right? Because obviously we'll address what happened at the end of the show. But, they're setting up two different matches for Sammy, right? So, I wonder... Tell me what you prefer here. But I wonder if Elimination Chamber's in Canada. So, I wonder if they do Sammy and KO at Elimination Chamber.
Oh my God! Could you imagine that match in Toronto?
Canada, yeah. And then they have Sammy and Cross and Kevin Owens and Randy at WrestleMania. Yeah,
I have a retort to that, but I don't want to spoil the end yet. So maybe I'll hit it at the end.
All right, hit it at the end.
But I have some thoughts there.
Okay,
that's a good call. So after that, we get the New Day with a new theme and video.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And they head to the ring. So this leads to our next match. After commercial break, but when we come back, we do get another segment in the back when they come back. Rhea's walking through the backstage area. She runs into Iyo Sky, and Iyo just kind of nods at her. She's like, "Maybe I'll see you at WrestleMania."
Yeah. And
as Iyo is walking, she gets attacked by Liv Morgan.
Yep.
Rhea runs back to help her, and Raquel attacks Rhea.
Yep.
And so that kind of seemingly sets up a tag team match.
Yep.
We jump back to the ring, and we get Rey and Dragon Lee versus the New Day. Yep. They talk about how Dragon Lee has had some time off. Did they say it's because he had a kid?
I don't know if they addressed. I don't remember if they addressed. Yeah. I think they did. They addressed that. Yeah. Yep.
Logan Paul's music hits partway during this match as Dragon Lee's in control. New Day takes advantage, sends us to our next break.
Yep.
I didn't take a ton of notes from this one, but some good back and forth stuff here. We've been talking about Rey, man. Some nights he looks 50, some nights he does not.
Yeah, it flip flops, but Dragon Lee's awesome.
Yeah, it was good to see him back.
Yeah, yep.
So I write here, both teams make a tag at the same time. Rey takes the advantage, quickens the pace. He hits that awesome seated senton right in front of Logan Paul and kind of stands up. Oh, yeah. Paul gets in his face because they have a Elimination Chamber qualifier. I think they said next week.
Yep.
Rey pushes him. I've noticed this is a couple weeks in a row. Rey's taking the first shot at someone. Yeah. He took the first shot at Penta in the Rumble. Yep. Takes the first shot here.
Yep.
And then Rey throws Kofi into the ring post. Woods goes to kick him. Rey slams his leg off the ring post. And then Dragon Lee hits this insane run out to the floor. as Ray's trying to dive back into the ring, Paul pulls him out of the ring, but then throws him back in, and that's all while the ref is being distracted.
Mm-hmm.
Kofi hits Trouble in Paradise, and they get the dub, and this kind of furthers a little fuel, a little animosity between Ray and Logan Paul before their qualifier.
Yep.
Who do you think's going to win that one?
Oh, Logan, 100%.
It's got to be Logan Paul, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure, absolutely.
I think they got different plans for Ray at Mania and everything down the road, anyways.
I mean, I don't know if they have any plans for Ray at Mania, but it's not going to be Elimination Chamber, that's for sure.
And it ain't the title.
Yeah, no. So then we let's see what we got next. Oh yeah, we get a recap of Roman getting the stomp.
Oh.
Cole said he received a text from the trainer. No official word on Roman yet, but expect to see him out for the foreseeable future, which to me means after Chamber.
Yep.
So I'm assuming it's gonna be Logan, and then probably something like Seth, Drew, and I don't even know who Finn's wrestling. So
Finn is wrestling Seth.
Okay, so Seth will be Finn. I'm sure Drew will get in there, and then the last spot, who knows?
Well, do you think there's going to be any SmackDown guys involved? Because technically, Jay's probably picking the Raw champion, so I feel like there has to be some SmackDown guys that are getting a chance here. I was wondering if that's why there's 3 men's and 3 women's qualifiers. I think we're going to get the same thing on SmackDown.
That's fair. Probably. Which would mean
good for thought.
But they could consider Cena as the SmackDown one. So it'd be Logan, Seth, and Drew from Raw, and then Cena, LA Knight, and and somebody else. Who knows?
Fat too. Could you imagine?
Oh, Jacob.
Oh, brother.
Priest.
Yep. Oh, yeah. That's
yeah.
Priest is a good call because I think we're going to get Priest and Drew out of all this. So.
I mean, that's the rumor.
Yeah.
So we cut to Kathy Kelly back with Punk. She says silver lining to losing as there's a chance to get a win tonight. He says the silver lining is Seth or Roman didn't make it either. So set goals and he's going to win the chamber. He's won it before. Pressure's on everybody else.
And that was a great point.
Yeah.
He knows the evil he's walking into.
Oh, yeah. I've been there, buddy. Io's walking to the ring. Walks past PFC. We get the iShow Speed Rumble recap. That spear was crazy.
Man, that clip has gone so viral.
Oh, my God. He got killed. And Braun's so proud of himself. He's so happy.
Yep.
So we get the package about Bayley versus Lyra next week, and Lyra was in the crowd again. Has she done anything since she's won that belt?
They've only had promos, video packages, and her in the crowd. She hasn't stepped foot in a ring other than the Rumble.
I'm trying my best not to get frustrated with this because they've done great with Chelsea since Chelsea's won.
Yeah, she's been in the ring a ton.
She's been wrestling every week, or at least a spotlight of some kind. I wonder if they're using different people to write Raw and SmackDown because I feel like Raw used to be written a lot better than SmackDown. I feel like recently SmackDown's been written a lot better than Raw.
I think that it is different.
Yeah, you can tell.
I'm pretty confident with that. Yep.
Yeah, so then we got Iyo versus Liv, Elimination Chamber qualifier.
Good match between these two.
I mean, I don't know if Leo, what the hell? Iyo can have a bad match. She's so good. She
can fly, man.
She can hit. Some crazy spots here, or crazy strikes between the two. Iyo's suicide dive. Whew.
She just dives out so fast and so violently.
Oh, my God. Just throws her body. Yeah.
Yep.
We get the Three Amigos by Liv after the commercial. Between Ray, Dom, Liv, Mercedes Moné. I feel like the Eddie thing is a little overdone. You know?
Too many people are doing it. There's no reason Liv Morgan,
Right.
who is not good at it.
Right.
Peyton Royce is another. Peyton Royce does it.
Peyton Royce, who frankly, I
Yep.
love Peyton Royce, but she doesn't need to be doing it either.
Yeah.
Frankly,
No.
I don't even think Mercedes needs to be doing it, but I think Dom
Leave
and
it to
Ray.
Dom.
Yeah.
Yep,
Dom
I'm cool
and
with
Ray.
that. Yep.
Io counters back with the knee to the face. Her knee to the face, dude. Oh my god.
She smoked Liv and busted her open, which is awesome.
Busted fat lip.
Yep.
Another great kick to the face. Raquel distracts Io while she's on the top. Liv with the dive outside trying to do sunset.
Did you see that move, man?
Yep.
When she went up and over, I'm like, what the?
Oh
Liv
my God.
Morgan?
I mean, hey, when you're in there with somebody like Iyo, you got to throw it in there, you know?
Raise the bar, man.
That's right. You got to show that you deserve to be in there. Iyo hits the German suplex on the outside and then the springboard moonsault. Dude, she's so good. Iyo hits the bullet train, goes for her moonsault. Raquel distracts again, and then Liv gets the knees up. That part did seem wonky. Like, Liv got the knees up, but Iyo didn't really sell like she landed on the knees.
No.
I don't know if you noticed that, but
yeah.
Then Rhea runs down, fucking just slams straight into Raquel. Liv starts pulling Rhea's hair, so Rhea takes out Liv, causing the DQ. Liv with the win, and then Iyo confronts Rhea after the match. And
backwards.
Huh?
Rhea tries to console Iyo.
Doesn't Iyo come up from behind her?
No, Io's pissed at Rhea because Rhea's the one who fucked her.
Right.
So Rhea comes up to try to console her, and Io's
you're right.
Get off me.
Yeah. I know a lot of people are hoping for Rhea and Iyo. Match-wise, will be great, yeah, but again, I'm a story person, and the story isn't there for a WrestleMania match.
It is now. It's going to start here, I think. I think that's what this is the start of.
Yeah,
I think this will probably lead to something similar. This is going to be a tag match next.
Yeah.
And we'll get one of those oopsie daisy. Iyo goes to hit. Liv ducks, smashes Rhea. Raquel rolls her up.
Right.
Dissension between the two.
Yeah.
We just booked your next few weeks of Raw. You are welcome, Adam Pearce.
Right. You're welcome, boy.
You can mail that to... Never mind. I'm not giving you my address. Bailey versus Lyra and Ray versus Logan. They do another package for those qualifiers next week. Another Kathy Kelly promo out back. We get the... Man, I can't say this. War Raiders.
Raiders.
They start off talking about their respect for JD and how tough he was to finish the match. They're confronted by American Mid.
Mm-hmm.
Chad says that the War Raiders aren't championship material, but that the Creeds are.
Hey.
And the War Raiders say that if they want the titles, then American Mid needs to prepare to go to war. Didn't love the beginning of this promo at all.
Yeah.
But this is a huge Easter egg in this promo. They kind of I feel like that was all just fluff and kind of whatever.
Right.
But the real meat and potatoes here is Chad's all right, I'm going to leave the group for a bit. He says he's going to go on a quest to conquer the dark arts of Lucha Libre.
Mm-hmm.
And he wants to see the Creeds win the tag belts. And she wants to see, oh my God, where's her name? Ivy Nile win the women's intercontinental title.
Yep.
What do you make of this promo by Chad Gable?
I know where you're going with it. I know you're thinking black, and that's what I was initially thinking. But I did see on Twitter, somebody said, well, if he's leaving and he's not going to be on TV for a while, could he be showing up in AAA? Because AAA...
That's not a bad idea at all.
Right, because AAA is kind of known for, more caricatures like that with their Lucha Libre. So, I mean, maybe both, frankly. But I have a hard time seeing Black going to Raw since they just moved Zelina to SmackDown.
Oh, I forgot about
Right,
that.
because they do want to keep husband and wives together, and they are married. So
Yep.
I,
Oh, son of a bitch.
but it could still be him coming out and then going to SmackDown. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? So
I just got really hung up on the word dark arts.
yeah, no, I did the first time. Dom said
Yep.
it too, and then I saw the AAA thing. And was like, oh, actually, that makes sense too.
Yeah.
So
We get a little package after this for WWE Evolve. So basically, in short,
NXT's NXT. Yep.
yeah,
Yep.
and it's like people. You know how they just started that they put in those 4 training areas. What is it? WWE ID? It's
Yep.
basically people for that, and like some
Yeah.
people in NXT that aren't getting
Right.
maybe some time, need some seasoning. I love that this is on at Wednesdays at 8 o'clock.
Yeah, but it's on
Interesting time
Tubi. Who the
slot.
hell has Tubi? Like,
Yeah, that's fair.
put down YouTube at least. You know?
Yeah. Seth frickin' Rollins hits the ring. I was really looking forward to hearing from him.
Yeah.
Right before the show started, I asked you guys what you thought was going to start off, and Jay was a good call. I was just antsy to see Seth, so that's the answer I wanted.
Right.
We go to commercial break. They come back. I thought this was a little redundant. I thought one or the other was fine, but they did both. They do a nice video package about AJ returning at the Rumble.
Yes, sir.
I love that he had his OG gear and music back.
Yep.
I'm so glad he had the music back.
Oh yeah, yeah, that song's awesome.
And then Kathy Kelly interviews Adam Pearce. She said she heard some rumblings about a massive announcement that Pearce had.
Yeah.
Pearce says that the newest member of Raw and the last acquisition of the transfer portal was AJ Styles, which I feel like was obvious because they just had the video package on him. That's why I might have done those
separately.
Let it breathe, brother.
Yeah.
And then I don't know. I thought this was weird. Maybe I need to watch it again. But Braun Breaker approached and he's like, "Keep AJ away from me." And then he's like, "What's next for my title?" And he seemed put off that Pearson seemed very interested to get the Intercontinental Champion on TV, which he's not doing it with the Women's Intercontinental Champion either. So you're not alone, Braun.
Yeah, he hates those belts.
Yeah. So Braun asked if they can go somewhere private to discuss what's next. Do you think that's a Mania match?
Maybe. I felt like because Logan eliminated him, I could see AJ and Logan. But I don't really know what Braun Breaker would do. I mean, I think most people think it'll be like Breaker and Sheamus and career versus title or something like that. So
I can't wait for AJ to go for a phenomenal forearm and Braun Breaker to just spear the hair off of him.
Oh.
Yeah, that's going to be good. That's going to be a great match when it happens.
Yeah. So then we get Seth in the ring. Says he's happy and proud for Jey. He likes to see good things happen to good people and see them get what they deserve, which leads him to Punk, who lost the Rumble. Seth said he loves to see it. He runs down Punk, just doing the Seth Rollins thing. He hates Punk. He moves to Roman, who also lost, and he might not make it to Mania. Seth says Roman's hurt, but no one wants to say so. Roman would have done the same thing to Seth if he had the chance. Says he did him a favor anyways because he's already on a limited schedule, so why the hell not?
I thought that was a nice little dig.
That was a nice little dig at the part-timer.
Yep.
Where are we at? Here we go. Seth said he lost 2, but he still got several passes, including the qualifier against Finn. Seth calls Sami out to the ring. Says they're two different people, and what Seth knows, but the people don't know, is how much Sami hates Punk too. Which is funny because I feel like
loved this.
Right, and I also feel like Sami has said that, but in separate interviews and not on the show. You know what I'm saying? So it does kind of put some oomph behind Seth saying that. Hey, I know he's not going to admit it to you guys, but this chump here who's full of crap, you know what I'm saying? he puts on a good face when people needs him to. Seth says tonight's not a good night to fit. Is not a night for good face. It's time for the fight of his life. Reminds Sami that Punk said he's not on his level. Seth says Sami's on a level above. As Seth is leaving the ring and pumping Sami up, Sami's music hits. Punk's music hits. Seth catches Punk with a shot.
Did you see that, man? When he was walking by me, popped him one.
Yeah.
Punk was so pissed.
Yeah, and here's the thing, right? Again, with the heels with Triple H, they have a good point. They're not just, ooh, I woke up on the wrong side of the bed, now I'm a bad guy. You know, Seth's like, hey, I might be doing crap, but at least I'm being honest about it. Sami here, who you all love, is full of crap. So, hate the guy who's full of it and not the guy who's being real with you, which I like.
Yep. So this gets us to our main event. This was awesome. Mm-hmm. I watch this every night of the week.
Yeah.
We get Sami versus Punk for the first time ever in a one-on-one in the WWE.
Yep.
Gritty match to start off. A lot of mush facing, a lot of chops, a lot of just in each other's grills.
Yep.
I saw Punk pull out a couple of moves. Maybe I'm just forgetting, but I feel like this is the first time I saw him hit the Macho Man elbow. And it's the first time I'd seen him use the Anaconda Vice since he got back, I feel like. Not that he's wrestled a ton.
I feel like it's the first time he's hit those moves since he's been back, but he used to do the elbow back in the day. So, yeah, I think this is the first time since he's been back. Yeah. I think so.
Yep. I love this part. Sami hits a tornado DDT, and Punk just dead fishes, like flounders, and Sami can't roll him over. I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah.
And Sami selling that his arm hurts because Punk had been working on it and softening it up for the Anaconda Vice. Nice little storytelling here. Punk does his he does that spot in the corner where he hits him with a flying knee, and then he goes for the Bulldog, and Sami turns it into the Blue Thunder Bomb.
Oh, dude.
This was awesome.
Sick.
Yep. And then Punk jumps into the corner, misses Sami, hits his shoulder on the corner post. Sami goes for the Helluva Kick, and this was super fast. Like, these guys are just going back and forth across the ring. Sami misses the Helluva Kick. Punk rolls him up, finally hooks in that Anaconda Vice. And then he finally hits that corner knee spot, and he starts talking shit. He says WrestleMania's for him. He runs back to the other corner, and Sami trails him again immediately behind him. Finally hits the Helluva Kick. He goes for it. What the hell? I feel like, did this really happen this fast? Punk calls for the go to sleep. Sami reverses it into a small package. Like, these guys were just back and forth.
Yeah.
And then Punk does go for the go to sleep. Sami hits him with the corner suplex, and the crowd in this moment believes Sami's going to win. They go berserk.
Right.
They eat it up.
Yeah.
And then Punk reverses another Helluva Kick attempt into the go to sleep for the win.
Yeah.
A lot of good reversals here and a lot of good back and forth at the end.
Yeah.
Punk punches his ticket. He's going to the chamber.
Hell yeah.
After the match, well, you want to talk about the match first and then the ending?
Yeah, I thought the match was good. I go ahead and say the ending because I feel like they go into each other. So.
Yeah. So Punk offers a handshake. Sami obliges. And as Punk turns around, KO just decks Sami from behind. I thought this is another one of those times. I thought the show was over. I actually stood up. I was going to get a beverage, and I hear the TV, and I look back, and KO just levels Sami, and he hits the fucking package pile driver, man.
Yep.
And the plot thickens.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. So during the match, at least for me personally, my Netflix or my internet was really crapping the bed. It was really, really bad at the end here. There. Yeah, but the match was great. The ending was awesome. Kevin Owens coming in out of nowhere.
Didn't see it coming.
I didn't see it coming. I mean, I
I
knew
was
it.
not suspecting.
I knew at some point, but I didn't expect it like there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I thought the match was great. I thought the ending was great. Like you said, you felt like the show was over. And Raw is hard now because it's not that like, oh,
You don't have the time to lean
right. You
on.
don't have that time of like, oh, we got to go. So it's like, is it over? Is it not? What's exactly going on? So Punk was the right choice. I will say though, Hell in a Cell, Royal Rumble, Elimination Chamber. They're playing a risky game with Punk's health for somebody who could not stay healthy in AEW.
Hell in a Cell and the Chamber. That is a great point.
Yeah, yeah. I'm happy he's in it, but at the same time, I'm like, boy, I hope he's.
They got those padded floors now.
Yeah,
It's fine.
it's definitely not the old Elimination Chamber. That's true.
No,
RVD,
not the
crushing
Shawn Michaels, Triple H, RVD,
Yeah.
Chris Jericho, Kane
Right. Yeah,
Chamber.
RVD crushing Triple H's throat with that frog splash.
Oh my god,
dude.
So to circle
Gnarly.
back, we were talking about Sammy and Cross.
Yes, yeah.
So when you said KO versus Sammy in Canada, I love that, and I think that's tough to top.
Right.
My only fear with that is how quickly Sammy bounces back from this, because Orton's been selling this pile driver for a long time. How long did Cody sell it for? Was it a month?
Right, that's true.
So that would time out. The only thing I didn't like about this is KO appeared on TV 2 nights after he was folded up like an accordion and looked like he was dead.
True, but he only came in and hit one move.
Yeah,
So,
and luckily he was selling his ass off still.
Right. So
I'm cool with that if it happens at Toronto, as long as... Here's the thing. How do you book that match if we don't see Sammy? Because we shouldn't see Sammy for at least 2 weeks.
you do the KO thing. You have Sammy either pop up on the Titantron and be like, I'll be healthy for Elimination Chamber, kind of like Shawn Michaels Triple H feud there in
Okay.
02. Or you have one of the GMs say, guess what? I talked to Sammy. He's ready to go at Elimination Chamber. You got your match, something like that. So, and then you have Sammy win. And even if you have Orton help him, because then that moves to KO and Randy, and then Sammy and Cross, and then you can go back to KO and Sammy after the fact. So.
Yep. Man, I can't wait for Randy and Cody. I'm dying for that feud.
Yeah, and now if they are turning Cody heel, it makes it Cody the bad guy instead of Randy, which is not what everybody was expecting.
Yeah. Yeah, I was waiting for Orton to kind of heel Cody here.
Yeah.
And screw babyface Cody. So I'm very, very intrigued to see how this goes.
I think it'll be fun to see Cody go, okay, now I'm the bad guy, and I'm going to show you what you taught me. You know what I'm saying? Yep. So that would be a fun story if that's where they go with that. So that will be fun.
Yeah. We got a great Raw, though. Great Royal Rumble follow-up. Yeah, it was awesome. We had a good show.
It was a really good show. But all right, man. So we will see you guys back tomorrow for our AEW review. Second one. Hey. Second one. We're getting there. We're getting there. So we'll see y'all tomorrow for the AEW review. Great Raw. And we'll see where they go next.
All right. See you guys.
Peace.